Getting ready to set sail on a Disney cruise is really exciting, and getting to the time where you start to pack is even more exciting and sometimes can be a bit overwhelming. Here's a list of some prohibited items that you want to make sure you do not pack before you set sail, as well as a few that just have a little bit of restrictions that you want to be sure about before you pack those away. Number one, knives. You cannot bring knives or weapons of any kind on a Disney cruise. And I mention this one specifically because I know we sometimes carry around a pocket knife. Comes in handy when we're trying to open a package or things like that. And if you have one on you, it could be confiscated by Disney Cruise Line. So just make sure that you're not packing knives or any kind of weapons. Number two, pool noodles, surfboards, wave boards, floats, rafts, anything that you might use in the pool or in the ocean. You are not able to bring aboard a Disney cruise. So just make sure that you're aware of that. I know the pools on board are not huge. So imagine if everyone tried to bring in floaties or pool noodles or things like that, it's going to get crowded, way more crowded than it already is very quickly. So they do have, at Castaway Cay, they do have rafts, little floaties that you can rent from them. So you do have access to that kind of thing at Castaway Cay if you'd like. Number three, coffee makers. Can't bring your own aboard. I don't know why you would want to pack that anyway, but I guess someone somewhere along the way did. So it's an excluded or prohibited item. You can get plenty of coffee on board your ship, so no need to pack any extras like that. Number four, electric blankets. These are also prohibited. I know people that sleep with those almost year round because in the AC, it gets kind of cold, so they have the electric blanket in the winter months, but that's a no-no. Don't pack the electric blanket. Number five, a string of lights. I see these a lot when I'm on property at Walt Disney World. I see people like decorating their windows with lights, and people sometimes want to feel festive, but you can't be festive in your room with strings of lights on a Disney cruise line. So please leave those at home. They do have onboard decorating kits, which do not include lights, but you may want to look into that if you're trying to decorate for a special occasion. Number six, streaming sticks like Roku and things like that. You cannot bring those on board. And believe me, there's plenty to do on a Disney cruise line where you won't even need to worry about any of those streaming devices. And if for some reason you're unable to, let's say one evening, make it to a show, maybe you weren't feeling so well, didn't have your sea legs yet, you can still find entertainment online on the TV that's in your room. So leave those streaming sticks at home. Number seven, this might be tempting, especially in such a digitally powered age that we're in, but drones. You can't bring drones on board the Disney Cruise Line. So make sure you leave your drones at home. You do not want to get those confiscated. They will probably confiscate that you from port. You can't even smuggle it in your luggage because it will show up on their x-ray machines. So just leave your drones at home and carry the memories in your heart. Number eight, pre-cooked unopened food. If you want to bring snacks aboard, and personally, I don't really feel the need to bring snacks because there's just so much food, but some people need to have a snack or a go-to inside their bag, and I totally get that. But you have to make sure it's sealed, it's in its original container, it's not been opened, it's not homemade food that you're bringing on board in a Ziploc. It has to be uncooked or in the original container or original sealed packaging. So that one might be something that you're not, generally thinking about. Sometimes you just want to bring some snacks. So leave those at the port. Number nine, this one might also be something that you might not be familiar with, but over-the-door hangers. This is really important. Disney does not allow you to have over-the-door hangers, and you don't want to try bringing them in anyway because they tend to scratch the doors, the door frames, and you will then have to pay for that damage to the door. So do not bring any over-the-door hangers. I will tell you this, most of the doors and walls are magnetic. So bring magnets. If you feel like you need to hang something up, bring a magnetic hook, and you can use magnets, but over-the-door hangers are no-nos. And number 10, this comes with a little bit of but, and that is you cannot bring alcohol aboard a Disney Cruise Line ship. But you are able to bring 2 bottles of unopened wine or champagne, that's 750 milliliters or less, and up to 6 12 ounces of beer. So 6 cans, 12 ounces. This really is kind of letting you bring some things on, but not allowing liquors and, other kinds of alcoholic beverages. They want to kind of keep it, like a family environment still. You're able to bring your bottle with you if you want to dinner. However, they are going to charge you a cork fee to open your bottle. So I would keep that as something in your stateroom if you're interested, because it'll probably be about the same price. I'll drop it here if I can find the current price, but same price as ordering a drink at your table. So you can bring some wine on, keep it in your room. Another thing to note is that if you're bringing on 2 bottles of wine, and that's per person, 2 bottles of wine or 6 beer per person, you need to put it in your carry-on luggage. Do not put it in your checked luggage. It needs to be something that you're carrying with you through the port. Some things you can bring on, but there's a little bit of restrictions with them, and that is that the following items will be checked by the chief engineer just to make sure that they are safe, and that is a curling iron. You can bring a curling iron on. You can bring a hair dryer on, although unless you have like a super fancy one that your hair needs, and some people do, they do have a hair dryer in every stateroom. So you don't necessarily need to bring one of those on. And then, and this applies to me, is a fan or a sleep machine. I can't sleep without a fan, so I always travel with a fan. That is allowable, but it will be checked by the chief engineer prior to sailing, just to make sure it's safe. So that's 10 items that you may not be thinking about ahead of time that are prohibited to take on your Disney Cruise Line sailing. I will put the link below for their full list of prohibited items so that you can check that. It's always better just to check it ahead of time. Always check it per different types of sailings that you might be doing, whether it's Disney or another cruise line, because they may not have the same items that they are allowing or not allowing on each ship. And it's always good to check it right before you're sailing to make sure things haven't changed. So again, I'm going to put the link below for the Disney Cruise Line prohibited items so you can check that before your next trip. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've found some of these tips helpful. If you have any tips or questions, please leave them in the comments below. And until next time, keep living the magic. Bye-bye.